forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of Applewood smoked bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, and butter toffee peanuts. Tyler called out the music industry at Angie Stone's funeral, and Monique figured it was a good time to write Tyler an open letter about the way he's treated her. Basically, she saw Tyler up at Angie's funeral giving this deep, heartfelt speech about how the industry mistreated Angie. And sis was sitting at home like, oh, so you mad about injustice now? Then she proceeded to air him all the way out in bullet point. Here we go. Number 1. You mad at Angie being labeled difficult, but didn't you slap the same label on me without even working with me? And she got audio of him admitting he was wrong. Number 2, you're talking about where's Angie's money? Where's my apology? Because according to her, Tyler's false narrative helped blackball her and cost her millions. 3, you sick of black folks not getting what they deserve, but you wanted me to promote Precious for free. No contract, no coins, just vibes. The math wasn't mathing for her. 4, you say we should treat God's children right, but where's that man of faith energy when it comes to me? Monique says she's still waiting on that apology Tyler promised her years ago. Then she wrapped it all up by basically saying, hopefully Angie's funeral touched your heart enough to finally do right by me, because I'm still waiting, bruh. And just in case anybody forgot, this all goes back to her Precious days, when Oprah, Tyler, and Lee Daniels wanted her to do international promo for free. Mo wasn't with it, and ever since, she swears they've had her on Hollywood's do not call list. So now we wait. Tyler, the mic is yours. Auntie, what you got to say about all this?
I think it was super tacky for her to take this moment from Angie Stone's legacy and Angie Stone's family so soon after the funeral. I do. I really believe it was tacky. But I can also say, on the other hand, it was the opportune time to do it, because what she was referring to was the blatant, hypocritical nature of it all in his speech. And so in that case, it had to be done when it was done. I still think it was tacky, but I see why she did it that way. But I really think it's some BS. She on one, and it's always her and that little husband of hers. I feel like if the husband went around, Monique's career would probably have been reset a long time ago. And it's not that she doesn't have points. It's not that. It's the way in which she brings her points to light. Because nobody likes to be embarrassed. Nobody likes to be called out. Sometimes you can call people out, but you got to have the power and the protocol to be able to do that in a way to move people. Monique don't have that type of power and protocol up against Oprah Winfrey money, Tyler Perry money, and Lee Daniels influence. So she has made some traction, but I believe her traction would have been better had this been handled. I hate to say it, but behind the scenes, behind closed doors, and where Tyler Perry and Oprah's image and Lee Daniels' image was not impacted negatively. See what I'm saying? I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Because if you continue to embarrass them, they're going to continue to, it's natural to want to buck up. You know what I'm saying? To defend yourself. That's human nature. And to be honest, they got enough money to keep this in court forever. They got enough money to keep filing motions and continuances and doing what they want to do, while Monique, you sitting around still belly aching about the same thing you've been belly aching about and not making any moves because your husband doesn't know how to guide you, since that's the role you gave him and you put him in. We'll talk about that another day. Y'all know how Auntie feel about that. But you've given this man the ability to steer your career, and he's steering it right on in the ground. You have taken yet another opportunity all the way up here in 2025, at the top of the year, girl, to start this mess all over again. And on one hand, I'm sure she has tried to talk about it behind the scenes. I'm sure she probably tried to reach out to them in their DMs, because I'm sure a lot of people are saying that. Why didn't she just reach out to him privately in his DMs and his emails? She's done that before, which is why she got the response she did. But see, people don't trust her now because she recorded that conversation, put Tyler on blast, and put the recording out there. Have y'all heard it? It's out there. So nobody trusts her like that. And she keeps showing up the same way. So people don't want to risk embarrassing themselves or getting entrapped. You know, they don't want entrapped a word. I know entrapment is a word, but you know what I'm saying. People don't want to fool with her because they can't trust her. She is moving with the same lack of integrity that she claims was done to her. So I believe she's not the only one who's being hypocritical. Is the hypocritical a word? It's time for my margarita. Anyway, I'm not so sure if she's desperate for his apology, the money, or to jumpstart her career in Hollywood. I don't really know what she's after at this point, because she seems to be working against herself. Trying to get an apology out of somebody, whoever it is, in whatever stage of life, you may never get an apology from that little dude in the 3rd grade who bullied you. You may never see him again. You're going to have to, at some point, be okay with not getting an apology. That comes from you. You're going to have to work on yourself. Tyler, after what you've done to him in response to what you said he did to you, is not about to give you nothing else, Monique. I wouldn't. I don't care if I did do you wrong. I did you wrong, but you keep embarrassing me, keep calling me out. Record me when you don't think, when I, think we having a private conversation, and then put me on blast. I wouldn't. You ain't gonna get this apology. You might sue me and get some money, or we might have to settle. You know what I'm saying? But let the games begin. She ain't moving right. This ain't how you catch more flies with honey. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is some real bull. I'm gonna wrap all this up by saying, Monique, if you haven't gotten what you wanted, moving the way you've been moving with you and your husband, it may be time to hire a professional. Somebody who do this for a living. I'm not saying that your husband didn't make some traction. I feel like maybe he got your best interest at heart. I don't know, questionable. But that's a story for another day. Listen, at this point, hire a professional. Someone who knows how to repair relationships in Hollywood. Someone whose tentacles can reach a little further than your husband's. Because I don't want it to get to the point. Because Monique has made a bit of a comeback. I've enjoyed the movies that she's made. She's done stand-up since all of this has gone down. Some people have ventured forth to work with her. She made one of my very favorite Christmas movies of all time. But let me tell you something. If she don't get a hold of this real fast, eventually her career and relationships in Hollywood are going to be irreparable. And I don't want it to get that far. I don't want it to get that far because Monique is a talent that I love to see on the screen, and her talent deserves to be showcased. She deserves to be paid for it. But there's a way to do things, and I ain't got to be in Hollywood to know that.